I sure hope so. I mean, I feel great, but I can't even imagine if I keep going. At 100 maybe, just woohoo! Yeah. They said she should do inversions. She used to, she'd fly back and forth and take baths in wheatgrass water. So she took very good care of herself. She lived on pretty much energy soup or Jubilac, and she did love the watermelon juice from here. Yeah, and I think she liked the rind juice mixed with it and wheatgrass. Yeah, she healed herself with enemas, guys. She didn't have a colon therapist that she relied on. Lalita was a colon therapist when she was here, or became one while she was here. And I don't think Lalita ever gave in Wigmore colonic because she was very self-sufficient. Yeah? So, I think colonics are wonderful and a lot of people need them and they really help push people into into a better place. But you can do an amazing amount of work by yourself with an enema and the implant. Amazing. Okay, so just know that you have a doctor inside you. All right? Should we consider that the eating habits of modern humans are normal? Because you know what's normal right now is normal healthy? Should we accept what's normal? The fact that the human race is sick and weak, when you look at people, when you hear the news, when you look at your family, you kind of go, and you say that this is normal? Then it's normal that aching knees, oh, you're 40, oh, yeah, you need that, oh, you need this, oh, you're 40, oh, you get those things at 50 and 60, oh, yeah, you got that. Accepting, right? It's not right, if you ask me, I remember being young and being like, oh my God, I'm gonna get older and heavier, and my mom's like, make sure you cut your hair when you're older and all these things. I'm like, what is that? What are all these things that are normal that people accept and they allow themselves to be that way, Oh, your period, oh, it's heavy and you have headaches, that's normal, just take some Motrin. Oh, you're one of those girls that have those periods. No, that's not normal. That's actually very unhealthy to have such a period like that. It means something's out of balance. Yeah? Decay in the teeth. Oh yeah, your father had that, or you're just accepting. Oh, your mother, oh you had that, oh yeah, your mother had that, so accept it. No. You don't have to accept it. You can. Okay, let's talk about this. Like you said, like how do I know when my cut is balanced, or how do I know it's clean? Because it's not just clean, it's balanced, right? Because it's not just get all that old shit out. That's definitely part of it. But then, what is the balance of the bacteria and the lining of the gut and the lining? And what is the chemistry like? Because once that's okay, your hormones will be okay. Your sleep, your serotonin is made in around and in your colon. All these things, the women's hormones are all balanced in and around the colon. So when you know that you're good, what do you see? Throw out some things that you look at somebody, because I know that if we were all sitting at the art walk last night together, we'd say, let's see who's healthy looking. Kids and not, right? Or you sit anywhere, and you do it naturally. It's kind of innate to kind of, she doesn't look right, or, maybe you don't even think that much, look at that person, or look at that child, that they're beaming, right? Maybe the eyes are bright. Like what kind of things? Tell me what you see. What do you like to see in someone or yourself? Skin glowing, skin healthy, skin not so bumpy, right? What else?
Like you said, clarity in the eyes.
The eyes and the right.
Say a lot.
What else?
Vibration.
Vibrant, yeah, in their energy or their personality even.
So like not overweight.
The body shape, right, exactly. Their body shape. Right, and also like we were just saying that it's not that everyone, of course, should look like me. I'm this long, skinny person that they look like they stretched out when I was young, But that's
that way, by the way?
pretty much, yes. Except when I was pregnant, and then when I started becoming a starchitarian, I was this, but just thicker everywhere.
She's just a little rounder.
I was rounder, but I think I was like 140, and I'm probably like 122, But I was like this all before that. I was like this in high school, but after college, excuse my French, really me up, because I started drinking beer and eating pizza and eating Captain Crunch for breakfast, which I never had, and just vicious cycle of bad food and emotional mess. And then they put me on the pill because my period, all that happened, and I just fluffed out. And then I became vegetarian, which is starchitarian, So that does not do good for you. That is all sugar, right? And I already had a sugar addiction because I loved Twizzlers and I loved all those things as a child. Anyway, so let's look. I'm sure you've said a lot of vitality, okay? Energy, kind of the same thing. Like the person has maybe for you and for me too, that you have a steady energy, not one that goes, whoa, and then, oh my God, oh, or you don't ever go up and you kind of just fall a couple times a day, and so you need coffee or caffeine or sugar or chocolate, like the majority of the world. A lot of that happens just from eating wrong, because if you bring yourself up in the morning, it's inevitable you're going to go down, and then you're going to want to bring yourself up again by 3, right? And so energy, just having it consistent. Freedom from dis-ease. I like to say it like that, dis-ease. Pain, nausea, you're not in mental stuff, anxiety, depression, moodiness. All that is freedom from some balance, right? Balance. Love, that maybe the person feels love for others, for themselves, because I'll tell you, I see some people, they might look good, but they're not loving. They're not loving to other people, they're mean, you know? And so they have these genetics that are still working, but it's inevitable at some point. They get older, and their battery runs out, and they start manifesting their insides on their outside. So even if they're a very beautiful person, you know, like magazine beautiful, they're all of a sudden turning into, like I said, you can be ugly in a way, but it's because you're not happy, right? And vice versa. Some people, they might not be magazine, but they have all this stuff going, and they're beautiful people, because you're just like, this person is emanating beauty, and you notice their eyes and their skin, and they're loving, they hug, or they're, you know, they're happy, right? Because I don't know about you, but this stuff's contagious. If someone's happy, you feel really good around them. And on the other hand, if they're and complaining and don't do that because of this, and fear, that's freaking contagious. And that's acid. You feel like, oh, I can't be, my mother, you know, whoever it is, my aunt, whenever I see her, she just unloads her garbage on me, you know?
We have a friend we call Eeyore.
Eeyore. Yes, like Eeyore, exactly. Oh, here we go again. I love Eeyore, but he's
It's like you can't do
It's so heavy. It's so
For me though,
energy.
rabbit is worse. Because I have more rabbit in me, and I'm like, oh my God, no, because rabbit's like, you know, it's like, rabbit. Eeyore's more like I can lean on him, but then I gotta step away. You're right. We could do this whole thing in Winnie the Pooh kind of thing. Clear eyes, like you said, clear hydrated skin. I don't know if it's in here. I'm gonna throw in sleep swell, right? With the energy that you actually have a good night's sleep, at least 5 hours straight. Not waking up. People say, oh, but when you get older, you get up and pee every hour. Not if your colon is in good balance and pushing down on your bladder, not doing all that stuff. And we get a lot of that. Women who are older or have had a lot of surgeries and it's pushing down. Or even you say, it could be just full of gas, so it's pushing, you know? And they come here and within 3 days they say, oh my God, my incontinence is gone. Just from eating this food. Because they're not eating this food that every day is filling them up with gases and doing the same thing to them every day. 3 days, a lot happens. I think you probably know. Yeah? And if some of you are feeling a little weak or down, once you eat that lunch that's more solid, you'll feel a little bit more happy and healthy because it's solid. You know, blended is solid food too, because it's just blended. But it you know, something about it makes people feel a little more balanced. Okay? Greater intuition. You know, I mean, we're intuitive beings. I would say, especially women. I can say, because there's no men here. If I said that around my boys, they get very mad at me. But women, especially, and men too, can be very intuitive. But if they're all clogged up, they're not tuned with what's going on. They're not sensing, you know, walking here and something's telling me I need to stop and do this, or I need to go this way, and it saves their life. They don't know it, right? Or they get in accidents and falling and tripping. There's always something happening in their life. That has a lot to do with being clogged up. Phyllis always says, when I eat right, she said something like, everything works out for me so much better. I noticed that too. There's just this flow that you're in, and you can handle stress much better too, right? Like if someone does come in like Rabbit or Eeyore, you're less likely to react and be, you know, or not handle it or yell or scream. You're much more able to deal with it. And
What
that's
if, yeah, but what if you recognizing it and, I mean, I know how to walk away, but like sometimes, like I'm offering compassion and listening in, listening.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that kind of energy coming at you when you're giving love and
when you are
compassion
giving
and-
love? Well, I think the big thing is that you can do that as long as you take time for yourself to then give, whether it's go sit outside or meditate or take a walk by yourself or kind of regenerate.
Okay.
Because we're going to do that, especially if we're mothers and we're helpers and we're grandmas and whatever we are, sisters and not even a mother. And so I think that should be on here, that you're compassionate and that you can listen.
Yeah.
But then
If it's easy to
if
walk
you don't
away.
refill your cup, your little girl starts getting resentful almost, and not liking people, and then you don't have that ability to do it. You lose the ability to do that when she's just squashed down.
Yeah.
I know, because I've done it many times, and now I'm like, please, I can't do this. It's not always easy saying no, too. Maybe your mom and you never saw another woman say no, and maybe your mom even said, if you're going to be a good wife or you're a good woman in life or a good teacher, you just keep going, and you don't say no. I'm quitting this class because it's killing me. You stay in there like a military head. No, you don't do that. You have to take care of yourself because nobody else is going to take care of you. Nobody else. You might have a great husband, a great boyfriend, a great father, a great brother. They're not a mother, sister. They don't really know how to take care of you. Only you know. And sometimes when we're really gunked up, we don't even hear the little girl go, ah! But then we have pain, and that's her. Pain brings us into, I can't take it anymore. Right? Pain is actually a wake-up call to get spiritual, to listen to yourself. It is. Whether it's headaches, I know I've had those headaches where you're just like, oh my God. And you start to get spiritual. You say, oh, what is this? I need help, right? Pain brings you, or suffering, or somebody else suffering too, but really when it's you, it's kind of right in your face. But this intuition, you're going to see, you guys, I hope when you go home, you continue doing something like this, raw living, for another week, because you're going to see it change every day on your own. It's an amazing thing, and after 2 weeks, and if you keep going to 3, you really see what I'm talking about. You kind of feel magical, but not arrogant. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about, I've got it better than all you. That would be unhealthy, right? But you feel like you're in the flow. You're in the vortex, as they say. You're in this thing that's just working out for you. And when something doesn't, you're able to go, okay, that's a sign that I need to go this way, Okay? So, a peacefulness, right? Because I might have all these things, but I'm going like this, like rabbit, and you're like, there has to be this. Sorry if I do that. The peacefulness is very important. I don't mean peaceful so that you're all locked up, though, and you're not expressing yourself, right? Because there's people that look really peaceful, but then you know them, or you know something, or you know them when they're behind the doors, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but they can act peaceful. I'm talking about them, you feeling your peace. You feeling, and really when this is peaceful, you feel peaceful. When this is, and that's why detox sometimes is, I feel so peaceful. Oh my God, now I don't. Why now I feel hyper. Now I feel this roller coaster. Detox is a roller coaster. And guess what? It keeps going after 2 weeks. Until your body starts going, these hills start to do this, and this, and this, and then all of a sudden, and you're not dead, you're alive with this peacefulness, Okay? So the word is balance, that we like balance. Balance of things, anything from your mind, your physical balance, I would say this balance too, but also the balance of your hormones, the balance of your bacteria in your gut, which is not 50-50, it's 80-20, right? 20 bad bacteria, and that's the yeast, and you're allowed that, right? It's not about being squeaky clean, but you have to eat pretty clean to have that balance. Like some people Will used to say, you're too clean, you need to eat some bad stuff. And it's like, no, that's not what it's about. It's more about, getting the bacterial balance. Because if I go somewhere unhealthy and I get sick very quick, it's not because I'm so clean and that environment's so unhealthy.
But she was talking about cooked brown rice for you.
Huh?
She was talking about something like cooked brown rice.
She just wanted me, I don't know,
a little
brown.
more
Yeah,
balance.
but
you know?
brown rice isn't balancing for me.
Right, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Like she just wanted a little, maybe, if
Yeah.
not junk.
Yeah.
She didn't want you
Well,
to
you just become sensitive. So if you're living here and you're eating clean, and you go to Long Island, and there's mold and there's a pollution, and you're sneezing, you don't feel good. It's not really. It's actually better for me that I just don't stay there so long, which I do. I have like a 3-day itch there. I love it. I'm great. 3 days. I'm like ready to go upstate. Yeah. You're at one day now. Yeah,
one day,
because
one day.
energetically too, these areas. You know, San Juan too is very vibrating, very toxic, lots of people, lots of pollution. So it's not balancing. Here is balancing, you know. Art walk a little bit, but not too much. Sometimes if I'm not on, I can't be there. I don't go. I put my kids there and I say I'll be back in an hour or two. That's what we do. Or my husband goes. Or I say I'm staying for 1 hour and I'm going to go sit over here with a friend away because it's. Sometimes that place is nuts, like when the season is very busy and it's got a lot of drunk people, and I don't like being around drunk people at all.
No.
I don't have any tolerance really. I don't get angry, I just am like, I gotta get out of here. Okay, poor health, well, we could go crazy on these symptoms. And you're gonna know these from yourself too, you know? Some people think diarrhea is kind of normal, it's okay to have sometimes, and it's actually a symptom of constipation. So like my mother-in-law, when people get diarrhea, she always says, oh, you need the BRAC diet. Bread and rice and toast. Bananas. Yeah, bananas and rice and toast. That's it. And I'd be, really? You gotta get it blocked up. Listen, this is liquid, this is semi-solid, and that's solid. That's how it should be. But most people are solid all the way through, and then on the inside have liquid and medium, semi, and hard stuff. That's how most people have it. Most people have layers in there somewhere, stuff. When you have diarrhea, only the liquid's coming out and the hard stuff's staying in.
That's hard for people to understand.
People won't get that until I say things like, they need an enema. Oh, an enema. Yes. Yes, you have a blockage. So only the liquid's coming out. And you probably have a bacterial out of balance. You have a lot of bad bacteria in there right now. Something's in there, right? I've met people that have had diarrhea for years, months, and they come here searching. They're so weak, they have no energy because you're losing all your electrolytes and you're losing all your good stuff because it didn't get absorbed. All that structured water that kind of your body goes so that it makes a nice, you know, not hard but solid poop. You don't get that liquid. It's all just coming out. So you're losing other minerals. Okay. And then the constipation. Some people say, well, it's normal not to go for 2 or 3 days. Normal. Or your mother says, oh, I don't go either, don't worry about it. So you don't ever go to anybody, and then all the women say it. And everyone in the family is constipated, but they think it's okay that they poop once every few days. I even met people who go to doctors, and the doctors have told them it's okay to go only once or twice every couple of days. I had a girl in my college that didn't go for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And she was skinny, 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 but I'm going to tell you something. And she was beautiful, but guess what? She was so mean. It all came out of her personality. She'd be walking like this, and this is the most beautiful, angry woman I've ever seen in my life. And I found out years later that she was so constipated. She said candy. I wanted to say skinny. Candy and cigarettes. Beautiful afuera, but rotting on the inside. And then it came into personality, right? Because she still was young. If you want to move like Jennifer under the floor or put things under your feet, you do it, okay? Want to lay down, anything. All right? Okay, so constipation. We should go. If we eat 3 big meals a day, you should go 3 times a day. If you say to me, I'm more like I eat 2 big meals and a small one, and maybe another small thing, you should go at least 2 times a day. If you say I only eat once a day, which I don't think hardly anybody does, then you should just go once a day. Now, everyone's different. If you say, but I only eat a little bit, then I'm not going to expect much poop to come out of you, right? But a bowl of soup, I'm telling you, can make a poop this long in a healthy colon. 1 bowl of soup can make a 1 to that big and that wide, right? So everyone's going, oh my God, my poop. You know, when people say, oh, I can poop, don't talk to me about poop, I go, what's it look like? And they go, oh, like I'm asking them like a sex thing, you know, it's like very private. You know, this is more private than sex. People don't want to talk about their poop, Nancy. Do you know that? They don't. You do know that. You know? And you like, especially, you know, it's like, I tell them, look, you, every 3,000 miles, you look under the cover of your car and you change all that, but yet you don't look under the cover of your gut. And you're all full
It's
of
a very good analogy.
You take care of that car, especially those men in Puerto Rico, they take such good care of their cars. They do all these things to their cars. They change the oil and they clean their cars. And there they are every year with these, these bellies. Like, what do you think is in there? What do you think is in there? I'll tell them what's in there. Mierda. No.
The God is there in that house.
Mierda.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's French, actually.
Bloated. I know, I'm going into French. Okay, bloated. We take that for granted and everyone gets it, okay? And then lucky it goes away, but it doesn't sometimes. Mine didn't. Once I started going to college and eating that way and taking the pill, there was always this bloat there. And I said, oh my God, you know? And honestly, until really recently, is it like I see now what this bloat is. It's the bacteria. The bad bacteria feast, and guess what they do? They spew out gases. They poop. They eat all the good food, whether it's the rice or the this, all the good that stays inside you, the sweets, everything. They party, and then they poop and fart gas, and your blood even. If I ate a bunch of bananas, you would see me looking 3-6 months pregnant because I don't have it everywhere, so it all goes here, right? And women and men accept it until it hurts pain, and then it's, you know, does it feel good? My mother-in-law, she's this small little woman. But she has to wear like a size 14 because her barriga, her grande, her belly is like this. Carolina, what am I gonna do? I said, you are full of air and shit. Can you fix me? I said, she wants me to just come on. No. What are you gonna eat to give you that balance of bacteria? You need to eat the sauerkraut. Ay, Carolina, I don't want the sauerkraut. I want my chicken soup.
Oh,
My mommy, mama.
My mother said the sauerkraut.
So let go. And the pills, the pills make you bloated. All the pills make you bloated. Okay? Beer will make you bloated, right? People say, oh, I don't drink wine and vodka because it doesn't make me bloated. Eventually, that will do it too, but it's the food you're eating, right? You see kids now, lots of little babies. Babies a lot of times are bloated because they come through and they come with their mom's bacteria. And so they have this big, you know, the Africans that aren't eating, they have their big bellies, they just eat rice. So all the bad bacteria and parasites are thriving in there, right? It's a huge sign of out of balance. I'm going to call it out of balance instead of sick. Out of balance because you're out of the bacterial balance. You're out of balance with your body, mind, and spirit, right? Bloating, dry mouth, bad breath. People say, oh yeah, I get bad breath. That has to do with the bacteria in your gut. That has to do with it trying to come out. You might sometimes, unless you have stuff stuck in your teeth, so you should floss, right? But the actual breath, and you might say, oh my God, yeah, my odor, it changed and I smelled sort of funny for a day and now I smell kind of sweet again and then it might happen again, right? But I was telling my 16-year-old who thinks it's normal to stink, that it's not healthy. It is a sign that you're out of balance. Mom, I'm like, oh my God, you like the smell. But he's like, you know, this is a normal 16-year-old. No, it's not. It's not. It's, you know, there's homeless men that smell like that because they're eating a lot of crap and sugar. And then, you know, they're not taking it. Luckily, they smell like pee too. But he's like, you know, and I know not every homeless man smells like that. But when you eat wrong and you eat whatever you want, which is like, you know, sweets and carbs and salts and fried, it will kill you. It, you know, and Wigmore has a quote: "Your food can be your greatest medicine and heal you, or, and I mean it, it's black or white, or it can be the poison that slowly kills you, or fast." Okay? It's one or the other. Every food is like that, you know? There was a moment that brown rice was okay for me, but I wouldn't say it healed me because it was better than all the other stuff I ate. But now that brown rice, it would be poison for me. For some people, it would be okay, but it's not healing food, you know? It doesn't heal. Maybe there's a kid that's starving and he needs carbohydrates, he needs somebody, he better do a lot of greens with it.
That's what I try to explain to people that are doing bone broth and saying it's healing, and I'm like, what did you eat before? I say, what did you eat before?
Yeah.
Organic
Right.
bone broth.
So bone broth,
Well, I mean, the thing with bone broth is that, and I know that you're getting a lot of minerals because the body needs minerals, but you're also getting acidity, right? Because anything that's animal product is bringing a lot of acidity to the body. And so, you know, I mean, wheatgrass and things and all this food that we're eating is so high mineral that it's just like you don't need it, but it's such a trend. I mean, for the last, what, 3 years or something.
Yeah.
The bone broth diet. Women and men would lose weight on bone broth, but the moment they start eating, they're just gonna go back to what they were. It's not, and Wigmore wasn't like diet. Remember, she said it, I don't like the word diet. This isn't a diet. People say, no, this is a diet, I'm doing a cleanse. You can take it as a cleanse, but this is an actual lifestyle. And I don't mean you'd eat only soup 3 times a day all the time. Maybe sometimes you would because maybe you ate too much dehydrated food or too much heavy, rich, you know, cheese. Did you like the nut cheese the other night? The almond cheese? I was right? I should have come and got, I'm making some at home. I was like, I missed the nut cheese. You take that and you put veggies in it and stuff, but if you eat too much of it, you kind of get yourself out of balance and you start to feel constipated. It happens in raw food, living food too, right? So it's balance, it's a constant balance, balancing act. So dry mouth too, women say, oh no, but when you get my age, you'll see you get dry mouth. No, that's an out of balance. That's a symptom. It is a symptom. Your body's saying, help me, I'm falling out of balance. This is kind of the first symptoms. I'd say acne too. People accept it. You're 16, you have acne. Oh, yeah, she's a teenager. It's not because she's a teenager, it's because what the heck is she eating? Right? I had it. Let's get her retin-A. Let's get her tetracycline. Let's put her on drugs for the skin. They did that to me. What did that do here? It screws up your balance of your bacteria, which screws up your mind and your hormones and everything. And you start sliding farther into problems. Periods get heavier, right? It just throws your whole body off. Not until I said, I have to change. I had one doctor that said you cannot eat chocolate when you have that acne. It's too much oil, too fattening. It's not because of the sugar or the caffeine. And Lalita says the same thing about cacao. We had David Wolf here years ago, and he's like, you should put cacao in the soup. You know, because then he would open his jacket full of cacao. Who wants some? I'm selling it, you know. No, he pretty much, you know, the oil that's in one of these little beans is so dense and hard to digest. Okay, and that's why you love it, 'cause it's so oily. But it's very bad for you on that level because most people's liver needs cleaning. And so it hurts the liver, the oil, the cacao. So, you know, Lalita would say, please raw carob, do something else. If you're gonna have it once in a while, a little bit, but not, but the problem is when you start it, especially if you're used to it, or you had it in your child, you know, it triggers emotional stuff, okay? So, rectal itching, right, or swelling, or any problem down there, hemorrhoids that are active, all that stuff has a lot to do with an out of balance of bacteria. Again, the balance is off in the gut, okay? And this is what I meant by even the infections that won't heal, okay? It's kind of the same thing. It's, you know, a lot of people wouldn't dare to call it an infection, but if you have an infestation of bad bacteria in your body, you won't heal from stuff, and that to me is an infection in your gut somewhere, right? So it's very similar. Indigestion, heartburn. My mother just accepted this for years. Oh, that's because they took my gallbladder out. Well, why did they take your gallbladder out? The doctor said because I had you. Because I had a baby. I said, well then why doesn't every woman who has a baby have to get their gallbladder taken out? Don't blame me. No, I'm not blaming you, but that's what the doctor said. What were you eating when you were pregnant with me? You want to know what? Potato chips, fried chicken, cooked to death beans, and really good Breyer's ice cream. Oh, I love Breyer's ice cream. I eat it every day. Fat, oil. Exploding gallbladder, of course. Thank God it lasted until I came out, right? But then where does that leave my gallbladder? Ooh, I noticed it when I was young because I love chips and I eat them and I feel sick, nauseous all the time. Probably I was born with a gallbladder already, right? Because you're coming from their cells, right? So what did they do, these women? They didn't know. They didn't know how important it was to take really good care of them for the next generation. They didn't know. So some of them smoked and drank wine because the doctor said do whatever you want, especially if it was 70s. Then they said, oh my God, it causes cancer. Crazy, right? Indigestion is a sign that something's out of balance. The acidity in the gut is a sign that the bacteria is out, that the acid, too much acid in the body, right? When you're burping after everything. Or what are you eating? Are you eating unripe fruit? Are you eating things like green peppers? This unripe fruit makes people burp because we really should be eating green peppers. They're not ripe. They're not ripe. A ripe pepper would be yellow, orange, or red. The green ones are unripe, and you know it because you taste it. There's kind of this fun, weird taste, but then there's this kind of something off.
Yeah.
My mom, she loves her bananas a little green. That's unripe. That's actually not alkaline forming then. It's acid forming and constipated. Okay, you know, the Americans, they don't like to see brown on their bananas, and they think everything, they don't know how to eat a banana, right? Okay, heartburn. Irritable when hungry, this hangry thing, right? Hangry, you heard of hangry? It means hungry, angry when you're hungry. My brother will say, picked me up from the airport once last year. And he's like, we gotta go somewhere because I'm getting hangry. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, and he was like, this other person was coming out with it's a sugar low pretty much. Yeah, he needs either a drink of wine or a piece of bread. You know, he's not looking for an avocado salad. No, he's looking for something that's going to feed the bacteria so that they don't make him angry. Because they go right to the brain and say, angry, angry. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did that happen to you? My mom, if I bring an apple or a granola bar for her, like a child, because if I go to the store with her, I can feel her. It starts with a little bit of anxiety. Are you almost done? And then it's boom, all of a sudden she's angry. I have to have that food for her. Yeah. Or she starts acting like she's going to eat like me. She doesn't tell me. Let's just buy your food and I'm just going to eat like you. No, don't do that. Please, I'm not here to detox you. We're not in that space. I'm here to vacation and have fun with you. Get your chicken. Oh, but I don't think you want to smell the chicken. I really don't mind. I want you happy. I'd rather have the chicken and have to smell it than have you going hangry and a mess and crying and probably ending up coming at me. Okay? So eat your chicken. Okay. And then she goes and gets it already cooked because she needs to buy that chicken because I didn't realize she didn't have any meat the day before. Meat does the same thing. If someone is detoxing from meat, they can get really hangry. Okay? Because it's a detox when you're eating things every day, just like if you're drinking beer, just like if you're smoking crack every day, and then you stop. You start detoxing. You get a headache. You don't feel good. You might get a pimple. You might get one of these little rash. You might get irritable. You might not sleep. You might sleep too much. All those detoxing. Okay, there's more. We can feel drained. That's a symptom. These are symptoms. Cancer is a symptom. Do you know that? Cancer is a symptom that you're out of balance. It's not, don't think of it as a disease, a label, I'm cancer. You're not cancer. You just have a lot of it. And you can find a way to get a balance in your body, a real lot of alkaline, and eat a way that cancer cannot thrive in your body. It starts to leave your body. Tumors start to shrink. Numbness, right? That means poor circulation, and poor circulation here. Muscle aches. Now, if you just ran a lot, you might get a little achy. But a lot of us accept, oh yeah, I'm getting older, or I can understand if you sat 8 hours straight, which you should never do. You should get up. Then maybe you're a little achy, but it should go away, right? So a lot of us have I remember a time where I had achy muscles a lot, in and out of achy muscles, and yet I wasn't really exercising that much. Joint pain or swelling, right? Kind of arthritis without a diagnosis, arthritic feelings, has to do with an out of balance in the gut. Hair loss, psoriasis, all symptoms, not diseases. Skin has to do with what's on the inside. It's an inside job for skin. Radiant skin, pimples, eczema, all that has to do with the gut. Itching, right? Sometimes when we're detoxed, we're itching. Women who are pregnant, they get really itchy. What are they eating? You know, the toxins are trying to come out of their skin. And that's what that has to do with. So itching in any sense. Now, if you're detoxing, you might be getting some of these symptoms, but that's because the stuff's coming out of you. So you have to be like okay with that, to know that okay, it's normal that I have bad breath, or I feel grouchy, or I have a little headache, that's normal. And if you don't have someone telling you that, you just go and eat your sugar and rice and chicken again to stop it. My kid's best friend did that. He just told me last night, I heard that he had a migraine so bad he threw up yesterday morning. We're like, what happened? So he got in the car last night because he came home with us. He says, yeah, I was trying to do a cleanse. And I'm like, really? Like, this is a kid I've known since he's 1. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. But what happened? He's like, I didn't eat any sugar. I'm like, well, like white sugar? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, but fruit, yeah, I ate some fruit, but a lot of salad. And so he was really detoxifying from carbs too. So he got a horrible migraine. And his mom doesn't know enough to buy it, and she just wants to please him. So they just got some sugar and gave it to him, and the headache slowly went away. Yeah? And then I gave him a bag of health food candy last night. I'm like, he's like, I don't want that food, I don't want that sugar. I'm like, well, this all has cane sugar, maple syrup, honey, this bag, you know, go slow on it, but this is how you slowly move into detoxing your body. You go slow, because that is like crack. White sugar is like crack. And for a kid that's been on it almost every day, a little bit, you know, they need to go slow. This, some people go, this is extreme, but because you're getting so much minerals, you're doing enemas, it can really help with the detox. That's why I'm here to be a cheerleader the first day and say, please do them every day, please. Okay, any skin issue, excess weight, I don't mean body shape. I don't mean you women who have a little more hair, which you could have and give to me, or a little more hair, which would be good to give to me too. But you know what I mean? It's normal, this, if your body is like that. But I'm talking about heaviness, you know, heavy. And we get this way, we accept it. Oh, I'm over 50, you know, and it's not okay. Nail fungus. Toenail fungus is a sign of a big out of balance in the gut, okay? Some people, I tell them, your nails and your skin is the window to the inside of what's going on in your body. I see people heal their toe fungus, and it's not by getting the medicine that goes on. They might get it for a while, and it's going to come back with another toenail. It doesn't usually work. Sometimes it goes away for a little bit and comes back. Or it comes in another sign. Women, they say, oh, I have yeast infection, so I keep doing the medicine, and then it goes away, so I know I'm okay. Guess what? It's going up here hard, and somewhere in the body, all of a sudden that woman has an ovarian growth, a fibroid. Why? You always ask these people when they have something like that, tell me your past, and you hear that there was a symptom, and they can medicate, and then boom, they have cancer in their uterus. It doesn't just show up so fast. It's because there was something out of balance for a long time, okay? Nail fungus is very popular, and so is acne and skin, so are allergies. So if we allow those two circles to kind of like not do anything or medicate them, we're going to come into stronger kind of symptoms. Allergies are really horrible. People can't live sometimes, right? They can't go to work, they can't breathe right, they're using the asthma things, right? Their skin is breaking up, so they're putting creams. So when you're getting allergies, it means, like she said yesterday, the body's trying to throw off so much toxins, it's overwhelmed, right? So the symptoms could be getting worse. You could be having sinus issues and colds and flus all the time, kind of like, you know, people say, oh, that's normal to catch it once or twice a year. It really, if you accept ill as normal, then yes. But really, when you have a good immune system, a lot of good bacteria, you don't get sick. You sit next to someone who's sick, and you don't get it. Or maybe you get it, but it's gone in 3 days. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying for sure I've gotten things and my kids get them, but they go pretty quick. They don't then, like some kids have mucus coming out of their nose for months, coughing for weeks and months. Then you know the gut is so out of balance in that person. Or they get something else, then they get something else, and they're always sick. Yeah? You've been there probably. I don't know about you, but as a kid, I had almost all of these going here and there at different times. Yeah? I remember the doctor saying, oh, you just have bad sinuses, or you have, I used to get strep throat every year, you know? You need your tonsils
I had
removed.
it for months.
Months, that's right. You need your tonsils removed. Luckily, my dad, who's a dentist, and he was like, no, we don't remove organs. We're not doing that. She has really big ones. We got to take them out. Why? My dad didn't know, but you know your tonsils and your appendix are part of your immune system. It's a very important part of your body. But doctors, you don't need it. You need your gallbladder. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need it. You know? But on the other hand, of course, it's an emergency and you're like gonna die, okay, but to just take it out, look at what she's eating. Look that she's eating Hawaiian Punch and she has sugar under her bed and Smarties and Tootsie Rolls and pizza. Look, right? Look at the diet. No, that would mean that it's on them. That means it's your responsibility as the parent, right? And if you're not in touch with your own addiction with sugar and cheese and wine and everything, how are you going to help a little kid? How am I going to help my little girl if I eat the same way, which I do, right? Or worse, it's almost impossible. So we need to educate little girls and boys, young people, yeah? They need to know a lot of this on a very simple level. It's quite simple, this stuff. You know, people don't want it to be this simple. They want a doctor who has lots of degrees and costs a lot of money to tell them that they need a surgery or that they need something. They don't want to take responsibility. It's a big thing. But some ways when you start doing it and changing your health, you feel empowered. You feel like, I can change my life. And then when you can do that, you don't even have to go help them. You inspire people just from being around them. Do you know that? You don't have to. Just your energy will inspire people. Okay, fatigue. We accept this all the time. I'm fatigued. Oh, that's because I worked so hard. You know what? You could have good, stable, clean energy. I mean, like clean energy all day. If you eat right and sleep right and exercise and get enough grass and beach and ocean and water time and meditation and yoga. If you get all that, you can just keep going. Not fatigued. But if we don't pour in what we need, we're, I need a nap again, right? And also if you're giving emotionally, right? This is all emotional too. Cold hands or feet is a sign of out of balance. Insomnia, not being able to sleep, either that or too much sleep is a sign of out of balance. Same thing when you're detoxing. Some people start detoxing and they can't sleep. They're just, I can't sleep. I have restless legs. I'm going to go take a walk. Restless legs. People get their restless legs here. Their legs hurt. Why do my legs hurt? Because all the lactic acid buildup is trying to come out of the muscles. Yeah. This is also the reflexes to the colon, the sides of your legs. So you might feel, and some people when, you know, they don't have, the toxins are stored in either your fat or your muscles. So if you have some fat, that's where it's coming out at first, and then you'll feel it in your muscles. Why are my muscles aching now? Yeah, because your body has stored it there and it's going to come out. So a little trampoline, breathing, lots of liquids, the enemas, just any way to get the toxins out. What are the 4 channels of elimination? Colon, skin, we didn't say it. What was the other one?
Lungs.
Lungs, so your breath. Do you know that this exhale shoots out all toxins of gas and water? And you're actually exhaling garbage, and then you better take in all the O2, right? And you're exhaling all this garbage. You're sweating all the time, garbage coming out. And the urinary tract, right? The urinary tract, you're peeing it out, you're pooping it out, you're breathing it out, and you're sweating it out. That's a sweat it out. Enjoy it, because there's some people that don't sweat, right? I had a mom. My mom came home one day and she said to me, I just played doubles with Robin on the tennis court, and I am drenched. I look like a sweaty pig. I mean, she did. She was like wet. Robin didn't let go of one drop of sweat. I don't understand it. She's such a lady. She has it all together, and I'm a sweaty pig. And I'm like, Years later, I learned all about the lymphatic system. My mom was very healthy. This lady wasn't, and we didn't realize it. And guess what? About 5 years later, she got diagnosed with MS, which is an immune system thing, which is a lymph thing, which is a skin thing, which is a lack. It all stuck in her. Her body, this was blocked up, and so the skin starts trying to get it out. And then the skin gets blocked up, and she had urinary tract infections. That was getting blocked up. And then her body couldn't release garbage anymore. She ends up with MS. Her muscles, everything gave out. Okay? It comes because of an out of balance that grows and grows and grows in the body, and then it starts getting symptoms. If we don't listen to them and we cover them, then bigger symptoms come. This is big symptoms, right? Shaking, you know the people that shake? Young or old, especially they accept it when they're old. It's not Parkinson's, but the shaking thing has to do with your nervous system. It has to do with that out of balance because your nerves, all like hands, like tentacles, wrap around your colon and go up your spinal cord and wrap around your brain like this, like a telephone, like the telephone, okay? When you're a little baby, actually before you're a baby and your little cells, right? And you're growing into what becomes a spinal cord and a brain. Guess what else develops? Brain, spinal cord, colon. That's you. Before your arms, your legs, before your eyes, your nose. You are brain, spinal cord, and colon. Lymphatic system. and everything starts growing out, like a tadpole. Okay? Your colon is so important. It feeds the fluid in your spine. It feeds your brain. Your brain doesn't feed your colon. Whatever you eat goes in your colon, ingests, absorbs, and feeds the brain or not. Right? Or not. So brain issues, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, autism, all of that have to do with your gut. Inability to focus, brain fog. What is this? What is this? You know? Kids get it. We get it in college. Well, what are we eating? Right? Then you kind of shape up your diet, get better, you know, or you get cleaner. And then it happens again. What are you eating again? Your body has to get clean because you can get layers and layers and layers and not be absorbing your food at some point. Yeah.
Someone who has Alzheimer's